city wants to do is restrict the homeless to sleeping in the business districts. What do you think? You think the businesses are going to like
This is LA, right, you said?
Yeah. I texted my councilman. I said, are you nuts? You need to know what the city attorney is proposing. This is nuts.
You're going to get some calls. It's one of those things, and that's how a lot of people too, especially at some of the community meetings we go to, people that live in Maxwell for the last 5 years have no tickets from us, have nothing, right?
It's not, the other part of that though is, and this happened with our living in a vehicle ordinance. They just, when we got that struck down by the court, they decided, okay, we're going to have a new ordinance. We're going to zone the city. We're going to have areas where people can sleep. Every time somebody complained, they took that street off the map. So now the only areas where you could really sleep at night with adequate space around is South LA, South Central LA, the Black community. Northeast LA, the Latino community, parts of San Pedro, which is also the Latino community. And so it's just basically really racist policy, because it's really racist policy. And if they do that, because, people in my neighborhood, they complain if somebody's like 6 blocks away, and they say we don't want people parking there, we don't want vehicles parked there overnight. Of course, the movie vehicles, when they film at the country club, those things can be parked there for a week,
right?
Without a problem.
Exactly.
The same thing happened at the beach. We wanted overnight parking, the lots opened at the beach, and the county leases it from the city and said, no, can't have them parked there. It's better than having people park in a residential area. But the TV film production crews, no camping on the beach. American Ninja camped for over 2 weeks to film one of their years. The TV and film production crews are there all the time. NCIS Los Angeles films on Venice Boardwalk all the time, parks all their trucks there. So it can't be the size of the vehicle.
Do they get a permit for those or no?
They get a permit, but the law isn't written to allow permits. The law says no use whatsoever, no camping whatsoever, and so you can't even get a permit otherwise. But you apparently can get a permit if you're American Ninja.
Well, it's the golden rule. Those that have the gold make the rules, right? Yeah, you know that.
No, it's a TV show.
Oh, that TV show.
It's one of those physical stupid competitions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, people with money always seem to be above the law somehow. That's typical.
Did you see where Terrace went?
Well, even our chief of police said we're not going to get out of this by
I'm going to go walk around.
No, but everybody says that, but that's all they turn to.
Yeah. We know, there's criminals out here. That's the people that need to be shut up. And there's those that get, the ones that get paid more is the people out here. They're afraid. The women that are, they can't sleep at night because that's why they sleep in the daytime, because they're afraid. So it's just, the shelters are good. It's got to be not long term.
Right.
So they have to actually, how long is it going to take? Like 3 years to build enough housing? Or by that time?
Longer than that.
Yeah, they're not in a hurry.
The 1,500 units is 3 years.
3 years,
yeah. And the other 1,200 are not sites. They don't have approval. They don't have locations. And, every city is turning them down, even though they're beautiful facilities.
It's sad.
The Jamboree housing is absolutely gorgeous, and if you drove by it, you wouldn't know it was permanent supportive housing.
Yeah.
Fullerton has turned down everything. I think it's outrageous.
Yeah. I saw a great presentation from Jamboree too. They got great stuff.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. And then the city manager from Placentia used to be in El Monte or someplace, and showed us the Mercy Housing, not Mercy House. Mercy Housing is a separate corporation. The stuff they built in El Monte, and it's just beautiful and really successful.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
Now, so they're not enforcing the sit and lie laws in LA, or are they?
Well, they're not, they can't enforce it at night. They're barred by the federal appeals court.
Okay.
And what happened is we settled that case. We vacated the settlement, but there is a settlement that says you cannot enforce this until you build. You create 1,200 new permanent supportive housing units.
Oh.
It has been almost 12 years since that settlement,
Yeah.
and they still are 300 units short.
Now, let me ask you this: why this was my thing? Why didn't on this lawsuit against the counties and the cities here? Why didn't they fight for? They need to have permanent supportive housing versus just shelter.
Because you can't, because the U.S. Supreme Court says there's no right to housing.
Oh.
So that's why you can't ask for that. The ACLU asked for it in one loss in the Laguna Beach lawsuit, and the court dismissed it. There is no federal constitutional right to housing.
Yeah.
There is a federal constitutional right not to go to jail if there's no shelter. You know, because it's a status offense and you can't comply with the law.
Yeah.
So you know.
So they're basically saying they have a right to shelter, but not housing.
They're not saying they have a right to shelter either. In New York, they have a right to shelter. They don't have a right to shelter in California. What they have a right to is not to go to jail. So when I filed all the lawsuits about the property and the living in the vehicle and the not arresting people for sleeping in public, the approach is that if you take away the ability of the cities to enforce their criminal laws, they will ultimately, if belatedly, realize that they have to open shelters. They have to support that because otherwise they can't get people off the street.
And let me ask you this question. Why is it that when people are arrested for a crime, they have a right to housing, but it's in the jail, of course, but they have that right?
Well, that's not a right to housing. That's you're going to jail for committing crime.
But still, they can't just throw you in a parking lot. They have to give you food, right? Showers.
Right. Because
they have to give you
it's
shelter.
Cruel and unusual punishment. No, it's not shelter. It's cruel and unusual punishment. So they have to give it to you because they've taken you into custody and now they have charge of you. I don't think that's the way we want to get to people getting shelter here.
But to me, I think it's a proof that there is somewhat of a right, even if you're a criminal, to housing.
No, it's not. But it's not a right to housing. It's a right to,
adequate care, which includes housing.
Because you've taken
custody of somebody.
Someone.
Exactly.
And the same thing happens if you have somebody who's on a 5150 hold or somebody who is disabled and in custody. But if you're not, there just isn't a right to housing. I actually think we're moving towards that in some, not a right to housing, but a recognition that every city, I think, is recognizing that they need to create affordable housing because they need it for their workforce.
And I'm saying that that's what I want to push for, is for right for housing for all in our country.
And I think it's a great thing to push for, but I think it would take a legislative. It's a state law in New York that creates the right to shelter. But it's just.
And how did they make that happen?
They've had that law. It's an ancient law that they've had on the books forever. And some guy who was a law student in the 1970s found it. He's still litigating over the issue.
Really?
But we don't have a comparable law here.
Interesting.
Our law is that the counties have to are the last resort, and they fulfill that through general relief. So, which is inadequate. But that's all that the California courts have said they said that's good enough. So then we have to look at, what are the consequences of not doing it? Is it that people are judged to be criminals because of their status? When they have no way to comply with the law, and then go after it that way. And hopefully you convince people that the wiser and less expensive thing to do is to provide people a place to stay, because it saves you money on emergency services, and it saves you money on on jail costs and policing and all of that, and it's far less expensive to provide people with a humane place to stay than it is to make them criminals.
Of course.
So that's sort of where you come to, but that takes the legislature to do that. There is no constitutional right, and there's not there's no right under the California Constitution either, and people in the past have tried to use the California Constitution, some of the broad language, to establish more expansive rights, and California Supreme Court has rejected it. So you would need an initiative measure to amend the California Constitution.
Okay, I'm gonna push for that then. Initiative measure to amend the California Constitution.
If you wanted to create a right to housing.
Let's do it. Can you help me?
Well, you probably do it. There's been some really good legislative measures. There was one you know, I think part of the hope is that with Gavin Newsom,
Mhm.
he made promises, and we'll see if he carries them out.
Yeah.
Even if he carries out half of them,
Yeah.
it would be an incredible
Yeah.
improvement.
Well, that thing you just said, I think that maybe have to go the right route to go then. Yeah. It's good to know just the route to get there.
Yeah. I
Right.
don't, you know, I mean, the rent control measure didn't pass this year. I don't know that you'd get it passed because, you know, there's always that element that group that
The NIMBY
argues
folks,
that,
yeah.
we shouldn't, and they're all drug
Of course.
users
It'll be an
and all
uphill
that.
battle. I know it'll be an uphill battle, but
Yeah. Yeah.
most battles are.
Well, it's an educational battle.
And that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a battle.
Yeah.
Might as well fight. Doesn't mean. Oh, something happening. Well, that was great. Let's push for that. All right, you with me, folks? Let me know what you think. Please share the video. Do join Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook, and let's fight for the right for housing for all people. Share the video. May God bless you as you seek first the kingdom of God. Bye bye.